I have 8 laws of health. The law today is going to be temperance. What does temperance mean? Moderation, right? Moderation in all that we do. God said, had he not mandated the Sabbath, man would have never stopped. We keep going and going and going. So is intemperance a sin? Okay, I'm going to read a few quotes from Counsels on Diets and Foods, beginning on page 43. Let none who profess godliness regard with indifference the health of the body and flatter themselves that intemperance is no sin and will not affect their spirituality. A close sympathy exists between the physical and the moral nature. With our first parents, intemperance desire resulted in the loss of Eden. Temperance in all things has more to do with our restoration to Eden than we realize. The transgression of the physical law is a transgression of God's law. Our Creator is Jesus Christ. He is the author of our being. He has created the human structure. He is the author of the physical laws, as He is the author of the moral law. And the human being who is careless and reckless of the habits and the practices that concern his physical life and health sins against God. Many who profess to love Jesus Christ do not show a proper reverence and respect for him who gave his life to save them from the eternal death. He is not reverenced or respected or recognized. This is shown by the injury done to their own bodies in the violation of the laws of their being. And we do see that today. We see because we have violated the laws of God. We are sick and a lot of things suffering because of that. So may God help us to understand that our physical law, the physical laws are just as sacred as God's holy laws. And He wants to prepare us for the kingdom of heaven. And He wants us to go there well. We know sin itself has caused us to be sick, but we can add to that by the way we treat our bodies. So I think temperance is one of the most difficult for us to accomplish, to be temperate. Sister White says she's astonished that with all the light that we have on health reform, that we still eat in between meals, things that cause us to overeat. So may God help us to let us pray. It's going to take a lot of prayer. That is the first temptation that Christ went out to conquer. And we know it's the greatest temptation that man has is our diet, our appetite. May God help us that we can prepare for that heavenly kingdom by keeping our diets under control.